Welcome to Sort of Off Topic. This is my beautiful and talented and very smart friend named Max, and you better fucking respect her.
And this is Janey, my non-romantic life partner, who I would kill or die for 1,000 times over. And if you can't respect her, then you can't respect me, and if you can't respect me, you better get ready for a knuckle sandwich, baby.
Hello, and welcome
To an off-topic episode of Sort
of the Story. I'm Janey.
I'm Max.
And this is the podcast where we usually tell you fairy tales and folktales and mythology. But today, Max is going to go off topic and tell us something she's deeply passionate about.
Deeply, deeply passionate about.
This is all she thinks about when she closes her eyes.
Yeah.
And the good news is also, you are here.
Hey, guys.
Welcome.
Hi. How have you guys been?
I hope it's been good. I hope you've been enjoying the off topics. I think they've been fantastic so far. I don't want to toot my own horn.
Yeah, they've been really good.
That's a toot toot because the off topic season is my favorite thing that we do.
Mm-hmm. Remember the medieval times episode? Wasn't that great?
Remember how good that was? Hey, it hasn't come out yet, so I can't really blame you guys, but no knight has reached out to me yet to ask me to be his girlfriend. And if he does, I'll tell him to join the $4 level of our Patreon because that's how you become our girlfriend.
Yes. For $4 a month, you can get access to our Discord, and also you get to be our girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
Or if $4 is too much for you, then for $3, you get Discord access and you're not our girlfriend.
Yeah, we're just friends.
We're just friends. That's the just friends tier.
But we're good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, and we're excited to talk to you.
Yeah, we love you guys.
But come on.
Yeah.
$1
as well. What's another dollar in terms of girlfriends?
You know what they say, $1 a day keeps
the girlfriends away.
Boyfriends at bay.
Good. Okay.
Or for $7 a month, you can get access to the Discord and also access to a full-length bonus episode of every month of the regular podcast. So that's like a regular fairy tale, folktale episode, but it's a secret bonus just for our $7 Patreon subscribers. So
it's not that secret. Pay $7 and you can be in.
Shh, it's a secret. Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone that it only takes $7 to listen. Good. Guys, how fucking efficient was that? Oh my gosh.
Killing it.
Yeah. If you're like, I'm already enjoying this so much, how can I leave them a 5-star review for this excellent intro? You can. That's a good news. Go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a $5 review. $5 review. And leave a funny little line, and we'll fucking share it on our Instagram stories. We don't care.
See if we won't.
See if we won't. I love you. Help me. Help me love you more, actually. Good, Max.
Yeah.
Excellent. Max has an entire fucking slideshow presentation. I said that right. And I won't apologize.
Slideshow?
I've been having a lot of problems with my lisp lately.
Since you got your tooth?
No, not since the tooth. Just in the past couple weeks, I've been noticing, especially as I've been editing, that I think my lisp is coming back. And it's been getting steadily worse, and I have been noticing it, but also you've been noticing it too on the recordings. And I'm like, oh shit. So anyway, as somebody who had a former very bad lisp and spent 12 years in speech therapy to get out of it, speech therapist, reach out. Give me some exercise.
Oh no.
Why is my childhood lisp coming back?
I think you should start doing acting warm-up exercises.
Blah, 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 blah.
The teeth, the lips.
Tip of the tongue and the teeth and the... I don't have problems with the T's. I have problems with the S's. Sally sold sex on the seashore.
Oh my God, Sally.
Good for you, Sally. Make
Sex
that
sells.
Make that bag, Sally. Okay.
So for this episode, as Janey said, I have a slideshow. I tried to do this as an audio-only medium, and it just couldn't make it work. So there is a slideshow that accompanies this. I'm going to try and make it accessible to the people who are listening only, but also I'm going to time this out and sync it up with the audio and then post it on our YouTube. So that link will be in the description for this episode so that you can watch the slideshow at the same time that you're listening to the audio and see all of the beautiful visuals that I put together.
It'll be like a real video. We'll put it up on Patreon and on YouTube.
Yes.
The links will be everywhere.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it wherever the hell you want.
I'll also put all of the pictures and stuff like that. I'll try to put all the pictures that we share on the Instagram so that you can also just slide through them if you're curious on what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah. So check out that link if you want to watch along, or if you just want to listen, just hang tight and we're going to get into it.
I'm so excited to see how this works.
Me too.
All right. Well, with that, we are going to take a little break, and then Max is going to come back and tell us all about her wonderful topic. Goodbye.
All right, Janey.
Okay, Max.
The topic that I have for you today is, as you already know,
I'm chomping at the bit for this one.
Nicolas Cage and his fabulous wealth.
fucking insane. Already insane.
I'm so excited.
The actor Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
If you guys know another Nicolas Cage, it's the other one.
I'll talk a little bit about who Nicolas Cage is and give you guys a little bit of background. But I'm talking about the actor Nicolas Cage, who in recent years has fallen upon financial hard times that have affected his choices in movies. And I'll talk about that as well. But he's known in Hollywood as being a bit of an eccentric. His acting roles tend to lean in the similar direction, where he plays a lot of people who are mildly to severely unhinged.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Ghost Rider 2: Spirit of Vengeance.
Why did I not already know that? I actually do already know that.
Yes.
Wild.
It's one of my favorite bad movies of all time.
Yeah.
It's incredible, and we're going to have to watch it. And also, I have to watch Vampire's Kiss now because I've seen a lot about it in researching for this presentation. And
he was fantastic in Renfield as well.
Yeah.
He was
great.
really good in Renfield.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't watched the double feature that is Con Air and Face Off, go fucking watch it.
Yes.
Con Air is my favorite Nicolas Cage movie. I think he's unironically very handsome in that and has the saddest, most soulful eyes. And you just fucking root for him the whole movie. But also, it's the most ridiculous movie I've ever seen. Also, it has my boyfriend, John Cusack, in it.
Oh, that's a good boyfriend.
He's a good boyfriend. Yeah, he looks like a little ferret face boyfriend. Like he should be British, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like a little badger?
He's like a little badger.
Yeah.
Yeah, in like a little waistcoat.
Yes.
Except that he's fucking John Cusack and he's a piece of trash. I love him. Like
In that movie? Or
no, he just seems like trash.
what?
He doesn't seem like trash to you?
No.
Seems like he would maybe be a little stinky and his apartment would be bad.
What?
No?
No.
Okay, I'm not saying that
seems
derogatory. I'm
fastidious.
saying that kind of nice.
He seems like he keeps his whiskers very clean.
He seems a little bit like he lives at the bottom of like a wet dumpster.
What? Well, now you're describing him as a possum.
And I love possums.
Okay, so next season we're going to do an off-topic about what rodent is John Cusack.
What does he smell like? And he'll be a guest. Honestly, great April Fools if we can get John Cusack on the pod. That's not what this is about. Tell me about Nicolas Cage.
I will tell you about Nicolas Cage. All right.
And you guys text us about what your favorite Nicolas Cage movie is.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to begin the presentation now. And this is a very professional presentation, just for the record.
It's beautiful. It looks very corporate. It has a pie chart in it.
This presentation is The Worldly Possessions of Nicolas Cage by Max Higgins.
There she is.
I have our table of contents here. So a couple of the things that I'm going to talk about. First, I'm going to go into the background of Nicolas Cage, who he is and how he grew up, how he got to the point that he's at today.
Got it.
And then also his background in terms of finances, just set the stage a little bit for his troubles that he's encountered. And then I'm going to go through a not inclusive list of some of his wildest possessions, including real estate, vehicles, collectibles, and animals.
Animals. Oh my God. I'm so excited.
It's going to be great. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about his career.
And we are drinking mimosas through this,
Yes.
so expect that energy.
Yeah. All right. So a little bit of background on Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage was born Nicholas Kim Coppola.
He was born a Coppola.
Mhm.
I thought he married into the Coppolas.
No, he is the nephew of director Francis Ford Coppola, director of The Godfather, and the cousin of director Sofia Coppola.
That's wild. I thought he and Sofia Coppola had at one time been married.
Oh,
I thought that was where the Coppola thing. That's insane. Okay.
Yeah, so he's born into the Coppolas. Nicholas Kim Coppola is his given name. Nick Cage is a stage name. At the age of 15, Nicholas told his uncle, Francis Ford Coppola, who he looked up to so much. Francis Ford Coppola used to like drive him around Hollywood and everything. And Nicolas Cage was starstruck with like all of Coppola's like his cars and the stars that he got to hang out with and like all of his movies and everything. At 15, Nick told his uncle, "Give me a screen test and I will show you acting." There was just silence in the car.
Francis Ford Coppola hadn't heard him.
Early in his career, Nicholas adopted the stage name Nicolas Cage to separate himself from his famous family.
Did he not give him a screen test?
He didn't.
Oh, he did it out of spite.
And I think that's hilarious.
That is hilarious. He's like, and you're dead to me, actually.
Actually.
That's wild. My mind is already blown at the fact that he is, in fact, an actual Coppola.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
A little bit more background. This is just a quote that I got from Nicolas Cage so you can get an idea of who he is as a person and maybe why he is the way he is. On his earliest memory, Cage said, and I'm quoting, "I was 3.5 years old in Italy with my family. My parents had gone out. There were these women dressed in white. I think they were nuns. They gave me something to drink. It tasted a bit like licorice. They also fed me some kind of stew, which was made out of fox meat." I was on a bed with these women. They were rocking the bed and humming a song, which meant I couldn't sleep. Looking back, I'm pretty sure the drink they gave me was Sambuca.
Yeah, I was going to say. What was up with these nuns?
So, possibly was involved in some sort of ritual.
Also, I bet you anything he was like a feral child. I bet he was spoiled.
Absolutely.
He was born super rich. He probably had no structure, so he was just out of Also, he's Nicolas Cage. Imagine Nicolas Cage as a baby. I wouldn't want to teach him. And so, like, I wouldn't want him to be in my kindergarten class, is what I'm saying. So they probably did give him alcohol thinking, like, this is how we do it. Knock him the fuck out.
Let's knock this feral child out.
Yeah! And I don't blame him. You had the chance to knock out young Nicolas Cage. Make him take a nap.
If I could go back in time and
Knock
just
out
KO a baby.
A baby. A baby Nikki.
As far as his financial background, Cage starred in a series of movies that were all very successful. He made about $150 million as an actor between the years of 1996 and 2011.
Whoa.
Just in the year 2009, Nicolas Cage earned approximately $40 million and was considered one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood.
That was National Treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On July 14th, 2009, the same year, the IRS formally opened an investigation into Nick's financial holdings, citing approximately $14 million in unpaid federal taxes, including $6.3 million in property taxes.
Okay.
Basically, they said that he had been claiming things on his taxes as business expenses that were not business expenses, and he'd been failing to pay property taxes on his properties, which I'm going to talk a lot about.
Did he not have a financial advisor? I mean, I assume when you get that much money, somebody's doing your money for you.
He did have a financial advisor, and good thinking. On October 16th of 2009, Nick sued his financial manager, Samuel J. Levin, for negligence and fraud to the tune of $20 million.
Yeah.
Which would make sense because a financial manager is supposed to manage your money. It's supposed to include things like taxes and everything.
Yes.
In November of 2009, about a month later, Levin filed a countersuit claiming that he had, quote, repeatedly warned Cage that he was living beyond his means, urged him to spend less, and warned him that financial disaster loomed if he continued to spend uncontrollably. So the two parts in this argument are Nicolas Cage being like, my financial manager wasn't taking care of my business interests, and that is why my taxes are unpaid. And then his financial manager came back and said, I tried to pay his taxes, and I tried to get him to stop spending crazy amounts of money, and he told me to fuck off.
I mean, I believe that. First of all, I do believe that. But I also don't understand how your taxes aren't paid.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody's automatically going in and paying your taxes for you.
Yeah.
So, like, both of those seem believable to me.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, probably.
It has to be, because again, there's no way that Nicolas Cage is doing what we do and going on fucking H&R Block or TurboTax or Cash App and paying his own taxes and like putting in all his own expenses. There's no way that he is the one that is personally going in and claiming things on his business expense. I mean, he can tell it's financial, but also...
Yeah, I think that the idea is that that's what it was that he was instructing his financial manager how to account for things on his taxes and everything, and that his business manager perhaps wouldn't have done it that way, which is why there was allegations of tax fraud.
I want to be there in the room. If you're a financial advisor, can you reach out and tell me, just tell me what's happening? I'm so interested in this.
So he was in a bunch of trouble with the U.S. government over unpaid federal taxes. Mm-hmm. There are also rumors that he was several $1 million in debt to various other individuals and entities. Mm. But I'm going to go into a little bit of, as the highest paid actor in Hollywood, one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood at the time, who had been in acting for, 10 years, very successfully, who is a Coppola, what exactly he did to spend a small, medium, large-sized fortune and end up in debt.
Oh my God, if that's the small, medium, large size fortune, I don't have a fortune at all. Actually, that's true.
So I'm going to start off with his possessions, specifically his real estate.
Okay.
Now, Cage himself has said that his real estate is what got him in trouble. He owned a lot of land and a lot of properties, and that is why he ended up in so much debt, because of property taxes and because of the land that he owned and because of the financial crash of 2008, which drove down the value of a lot of things.
Sure.
So he has said that this is the primary cause, and I've included like dollar amounts here, so it is definitely the bulk of his spending is here in real estate. I do think we have to take into consideration the other things he was spending money on, but I'm going to start with these.
Okay.
So first up on our little docket here, I've put together a presentation with pictures of all of his properties and their features, almost like a little Zillow presentation.
It's beautiful.
Also, for those of you who are looking at the presentation, I have a little icon in the top right of all of these. If you click on that, it is the link to the source for every one of these things.
So professional.
I know. I did some of it during work. And I was like, it's training. I'm training on how to make a presentation.
Now you know how to do this. Actually, also take it out on your taxes.
Yeah.
It's a business expense.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with least ludicrous and go to most ludicrous.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage owned a mansion in Bel Air, California, USA. The mansion was formerly owned by Dean Martin and later by the singer Tom Jones. So this is like a legacy famous person house.
Yeah.
He purchased it for $6.5 million in 1998. He kept it until 2014 when he tried to sell it. It failed to sell, and so it was foreclosed on for $10.5 million.
Whoa.
But some of the features of this house,
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage himself went through the entire house and installed a model train track around the ceiling of all of the rooms.
Like in Casper.
Like in Casper.
Okay.
So if you looked about a foot below the ceiling in any one of the rooms in this house, there was just a train track and there was a little train that was going around the house all the time.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to sleep.
Unless you're trying to sleep. People who visited his house before it was foreclosed on described it as being covered with several hundred framed comic books.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage, if you don't know, is a huge fan of comic books.
That's why he's a
big old nerd.
ghostwriter.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. But apparently he had his comics collection on all of the walls.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he was trying so hard to be in Hellboy?
Oh, I bet he was.
Genuinely, do you think he was trying to have Ron Perlman's part?
Oh, no. I bet he was. I bet he was probably going for a different character. I don't think he has the build for Hellboy, and I think he knows it. I hope he knows it.
I don't think he would know that, but I also think that he thinks that he's super masculine, and I also think that he can do anything. Like, that he thinks he can do anything, you know?
Maybe.
I bet he wanted to be Hellboy.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't?
I also am going to assume he was trying to be Daredevil. Why not?
Yeah, that's also really fair.
Yeah.
His favorite is Ghost Rider, though, and I'll talk about that more later.
Okay.
This Bel Air mansion also includes a central tower, a custom wine cellar, a 35-seat home theater.
Okay.
I'm assuming with a surround sound.
What if there's not? There's just one sound bar and it's vibrating against the wall.
6 bedrooms, 9 baths, and an Olympic-sized pool. So this is a very well kitted out manor in the middle of one of the most expensive places in the country.
It's so beautiful.
It's really gorgeous. I have a picture here. It's like this almost like English style manor that's covered over with ivy, and it has this like beautiful garden and beautiful swimming pool and everything.
It's the grass going up to the swimming pool for me that makes it actually look gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I mean, it really is like just a beautiful property. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, though, it didn't sell at auction, which is why it was foreclosed on. And the reason why it didn't, in spite of the fact that it is in this very sought after area and it is this very fine mansion, is because all of the people who were interested in buying it wanted it to come with a tennis court, and it didn't have one.
I'm so angry at humanity.
Yep.
Sorry, Okay. Sorry.
I'm really glad that made you as mad as it made me.
My mind just flashed to like legitimately like 10 different tragedies and like travesties in the world on the forefront of my mind.
Yep.
Whew!
Yep.
This is a beautiful home. Doesn't fucking have a tennis court. You can't go to the country club that you're going to go to anyway, Gladys. You can't fucking build a tennis court on your property?
I know.
That I'm going to assume has room?
Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely fucking crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's his Bel Air mansion. This is probably the least ludicrous of his properties.
It's gorgeous.
We also have a description of someone who did a walkthrough of the building before Nicolas Cage moved out and the place was foreclosed on.
Yeah.
A quote from a property review that someone wrote having toured the house says, quote, "The rooms were painted in garish hues and featured touches such as sconces modeled from a cast of Cage's arm,
What?
a bright red dragon sculpture, and an electric train which chugged around the breakfast room." This man's crazy.
I feel like that's more important to note than the tennis courts. I'm going to go ahead and assume the decor is the main reason and that the tennis courts was an excuse. They weren't going to be like, I don't want to live in a house that has a bunch of Nick Cage arms holding up my lights.
I feel like those would be easier to replace. I feel like he probably took those with him too.
He just has a warehouse full of arms.
Do you not?
Not his arms.
All right, so our next property, we have Gray Craig.
Yes, we do. Gray Craig, who's the grandfather of old Greg.
Gray Craig is a house in Middletown, Rhode Island in the U.S. Nicolas Cage purchased it in 2007 for $15.7 million. He was forced to sell it in 2011, 4 years later, for $6.2 million, which is a loss of about $900 million. $9 million. $900 million!
He lost more than what the actual selling price was. But that's because they took all his arms.
Gray Craig is a beautiful, again, like a sort of like a manor style house, 24,000 square feet, 12 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, a beautiful view of the Atlantic Ocean. This one does have a tennis court.
Okay, so it should have sold for more. Doesn't this look like the house from the BBC series Ghosts?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it looks a lot like it. It's like very much that style of house. It's like the like windowed facade and everything like that.
Do you think he's next door neighbors to Stephen King?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, Stephen King is in
Rhode
Maine,
Island.
right?
Oh, I thought he was in Rhode Island. Yeah, you're right. Very Maine. You're totally right.
Yeah.
Do you think he's next door neighbors to Stephen King, though?
I think that they've definitely hung out. I do believe that from the bottom of my heart.
Bummer.
So this one does have a tennis court. It also has its own gym and pool. This is a really nice little property that we have going here.
Yeah.
The next one that we have on Nicolas Cage's portfolio is Olympic Tower 48GH. This is an two apartment units in New York City in one of the most sought after apartment buildings in the city, probably the most sought after.
Yeah.
It is on the 48th floor of this apartment complex, and he purchased units G and H and then broke down the wall between them to combine them.
Yeah. If I had money, that's what I would do in New York.
Yeah. I have pictures here of the view that he has. He has an almost 360-degree view of the Manhattan skyline.
Wow.
Yeah. You can see, like, that's...
Yeah. Yeah. He could just see the Empire State Building.
Yeah. Absolutely huge. It's 3,550 square feet. Fucking unbelievable. In New York City.
Yeah.
2 units that he put together, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and a view of the New York skyline. Absolutely crazy. He was forced to sell this one as well. And I believe some sultanate purchased it and combined it with a couple of other units or something like that.
She's made it even bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just off the cusp, my mind always goes to you don't need that many properties. But I can see being an actor and wanting a place in Bel Air and wanting a place in New York, like actually wanting a place if you're going to be filming in multiple places and you have the money to do it, then I'm like, yeah, I understand that. There's no reason to have a fucking place in Rhode Island, Nicolas Cage. Airbnb that shit, you piece of shit. Go ahead.
And we're not even close to
Oh my God.
even partway done with his properties. Bayfront Mansion in Newport Beach, California.
You don't need 2 in California.
No, you do not. Purchased in 2005 for $25 million. Forced to sell in 2007 for $35 million. So we actually made a profit on this one.
In 2 years.
Yeah, not bad. This is 8,355 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, with a bay view, a private dock, a private pool and spa, and a 4-car garage. Again, in one of the most sought after areas in the United States, one of the most expensive areas. He has a view of the beach and the bay, his own private dock, which I will get into later. He has use for.
Go ahead. Oh my God, Nicolas Cage, you're filling me with rage.
We have his mansion in Las Vegas, Nevada, purchased in 2006 for $8.5 million. He was forced to sell this, but I was not able to find the numbers on how much he sold it for. It is 14,000 square feet, 7 beds, 8.5 baths with a private pool. You can also, I have a picture here of the decor, and it is unique.
We're going to go ahead and call this one Date Rape Manor.
He has got a very old style pool table, like carved and engraved. Everything else is kind of minimal. It kind of looks like...
This is an ancient Chinese pool table. This was the first one ever made.
It kind of looks like if you emptied out an Applebee's.
It does. It does.
And you can see here, I believe that this is a little enclosed garden space that he has with a giant Buddha face.
Yeah. It's very Asian inspired. Turns out he's an appreciator of culture.
And again, this is in Vegas, which, while not as expensive as some of the other areas that his properties are in, it's 14,000 square feet in Vegas.
Hey, if you ever wanted to be roofied in Las Vegas by Nicolas Cage, 2006 was the year to do it.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
If you were going to do it, it would have to be
If that was on your bucket list. Getting roofied while looking at a big old Buddha head.
Oh.
The slideshow's making me hate Nicolas Cage.
San Francisco, California.
Beautiful.
He has a Gothic style mansion.
Gorgeous.
This is one of my favorites of his properties.
Yes.
You can see back here, this is a view of the San Francisco Bay directly behind the house.
Yeah, he loves water.
He has a view of the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz from his house here.
I can see Alcatraz from my house.
Yep, he can. He had it custom fitted out with stained glass windows.
Yeah, perfect.
It has 6 beds, 6 baths, and is 6,305 square feet. Purchased in 2006 for $9.4 million, sold in 2008 for $7.7 million. So loss on that one as well.
Yeah.
But also, this is one of the most beautiful houses I've ever seen. It reminds me so much of the house in Charmed.
It does.
Which is also in San Francisco.
Gorgeous. It's a gorgeous house.
Yeah, it's incredibly beautiful.
And also fitting it out with stained glass windows was a plus. Like, he added to that house. This house should have stained glass windows.
Yes, it also has like really ornate detailing around the around the ceiling and the floor everywhere, like hand carved molding, and it's crazy. I have a link to look at pictures of the interior of the house here. Check it out because it's gorgeous, but I didn't include them in here.
Got it.
His property on Paradise Island. Where's Paradise Island, you might ask? It's in the Bahamas, off of Nassau. It is on a road called Casino Drive. It's one of the small islands near the island of Nassau in the country of Nassau.
I'm going to guess Nicolas Cage doesn't need to live near Casino Drive.
That's probably a good bet. This is the only picture I could find of it online. It's like a big sprawling kind of like mid-century modern like mansion, basically. It's on this tiny little strip of land so that it's got beach on 3 sides.
Yeah.
And private dock and everything. Bunch of like porches. He functionally abandoned this property. He stopped going to it and stopped paying for it to be taken care of. So it's considered a derelict.
Do you think he forgot about it?
I feel like you would just forget about some of these.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you don't usually. He seems like maybe he's the type of person that went to the Bahamas one time, bought a house, and then never went to the Bahamas again. And then just forgot that he owned property there.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty easy to have happen for him. This property is considered a derelict, and the most recent news is that it has the land that it's on, and the land itself has been purchased by the Royal Caribbean for the production of a new beach club that's going to go in that location. So potentially this house is going to be torn down and replaced with a resort.
That's what they need.
Yep.
More resorts.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a great time. Max is watching my soul die.
Now, I know you read Paradise Island and you were probably thought it was going to be like some kind of private island or something.
Sure.
But he actually has a different private island, which is also in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
It doesn't have this big, beautiful house on it, but it is over 40 acres in the Bahamas. An entire island that he just owned. It's in the island chain of the Exumas. He purchased it in 2006 for $3 million. God, to go back in time to 2006, just purchase an island for $3 million. Real estate was so cheap.
Quick aside, Jim Williams of Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil made his fortune when he purchased an island called Cabbage Island near Brunswick, which is an hour away from us. He purchased it in like the 50s, maybe early 60s for $6,000, which is $45,000 today. Sorry, this isn't real aside, but this is part of my tour. He purchased it for $6,000. Very shortly after he purchased it, he was contacted by an oil company who was like, we actually wanted to drill on there. Can we buy it from you? And he sold it for $900,000.
At the time or modern?
Yes, at the time. Which is the equivalent of $8 million today.
Jesus.
And right after they signed on the dotted line and he became essentially a millionaire, Georgia passed a law saying no drilling in Georgia. So they never were able to actually drill on that land.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so like there was a heyday to buy islands.
There was definitely a time for it.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I wish that time was now. Not because I want an island, but because I feel like that would be an indicator that I would never be able to own a home.
Yeah. Guys, go read Lawyer Games by Depp Kirkland and Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Brandt.
Yeah. So this little island is called Leaf Key.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 40 acres, 3 sand beaches, 2 lagoons. It's a really good spot for sport fishing.
Sure.
It is in the ocean a couple miles south of Pablo Escobar's former island, Norman's Key.
Sure.
There are rumors that I didn't look too far into that there are other islands nearby owned by John Travolta and Johnny Depp.
So this is like, Fort Bahamas has become like dirtbag central.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And also, just because it bears reiterating, this is a private island.
Guys, fucking come for me. Johnny Depp is evil.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. And also he's Filipino, so you know that's hard for me to say.
I didn't know that.
Johnny Depp's Filipino.
It's crazy that you've never told me that before. I mean, it makes sense.
It makes sense that he's Filipino because he's a dirtbag.
It makes sense that you haven't told me because he's a dirtbag.
He's a dirtbag. Yeah, it just doesn't. You know that these things just come up.
Yeah. Yeah, so just to reiterate, he owns all of these properties plus a private island, an island that he owns. Land, just a whole island in the ocean that is owned by Nicolas Cage.
And there's no property on it?
There's no, like, construction.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, this alone kind of seems, if you don't build anything on it, you just have, like, nature preserves. Like, it's not, you just have land. Mm-hmm. It becomes a sort of, like, protected nature preserve.
Yeah.
For the time being.
There are stories that he brought his son, I believe his son Kal-El, named after Superman.
Nerd.
He and his son Kal-El used to spend a lot of time together here at this island. They would boat out together and then just hang out in the lagoons.
To be clear, I'm not against rich people buying property. I'm really not. Like, I'm against excess property.
Yes.
I'm against this, but I'm not against being like, I spend a lot of time here, I'm going to buy a house here. That makes sense to me. I'm not against buying a piece of land and never building on it, because I do think there's a positive in leaving something for animals to be there. Like, a lot of people do that. It's just, he fucking forgot about a fucking house, guys.
Here's where we get into the really big bucks. Okay. Schloss Niedstein in Etzelwang, Oberpfalz, Germany, is a castle.
Yeah.
It's just a castle.
Sure.
He just bought a castle. Purchased in 2006 for $2.3 million. Forced to sell in 2009. I wasn't able to find numbers for that.
That's not even half as expensive as some of his other properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But it is a fucking castle.
Sure. Sure.
It's a 16th century castle with 10 bedrooms, 5 baths. The property includes 400 acres of forest. Mm-hmm. Nicolas Cage went through a period in his life after, not that they're connected, but it was after he filmed National Treasure.
Yeah.
Where he got very invested in meditation and in research. Mm-hmm. And specifically, he was researching the most valuable things, as far as he considered them, in human history. And he wanted to find a treasure of his own. And the treasure that he fixated on was the Holy Grail. Yeah. As one does.
He's a method actor, right?
Either he is, or it's a lot of coincidences in his career.
I am unwilling to believe this isn't connected to National Treasure.
Yes. But he started doing a lot of reading on, like, the Holy Grail, and he was, like, convinced that he could find it.
Sure.
So he purchased this castle because he believed that somewhere on this property he would find the Holy Grail. I have a quote here from him talking about his search for the Holy Grail. You read a book, and then there's a reference to another book, and then you buy that book, and then you attach the references. For me, it was all about finding the Grail. Was it here? Was it there? Searching.
I wonder if he found it in that house he bought. That castle he bought.
This is also just a beautiful castle. It's like a really gorgeous, like, German-style castle.
I bet he never once stayed in it. He's basically doing the rich person equivalent of getting a timeshare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really is. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of properties that he owns that there are no accounts of him ever staying in.
Yep, that makes sense.
The one in San Francisco, actually, there's no accounts of him ever sleeping there.
Okay.
Yep. On to the next. Another castle.
He desperately needs one. This looks like something from Taskmaster.
Yes, I was thinking that too. It looks a lot like the Taskmaster Castle. Mm-hmm. Woo, Taskmaster Castle.
Say that 9 times fast.
I will not.
Too many times, maybe. I overshot it.
He purchased Midford Castle in Somerset, Bath, England in 2007 for $6.3 million. Sold it in 2009 for $4.5 million, so at a loss.
Yeah.
This is a really cool and unique castle because the architectural footprint of it is designed, it's like 3 towers, circular towers, that are together in the shape of like a club, like from the suit of cards.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. It's an incredible property built in the 18th century. When Nicolas Cage sold it, he sold it to, I forget who it was, someone new money, like .com boom.
Yeah.
Money, who turned it into an Airbnb. So now you can actually stay there if you want to.
You can get a room in it, or you have to rent the whole castle?
I'm not sure.
Both.
I didn't look into it, but it's very easy to find the website, and you absolutely can still book a stay there.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. This is, I think, if I was going to live in one of Nicolas Cage's properties, it would be the one in San Francisco. But this is my favorite of his properties.
I will say, I think that my favorite is the first one you showed us, the one in California. Bel Air? The one without the tennis court.
Yeah, with the big pool.
Yeah, with the grass up to it. Yeah, I think that one so far is the prettiest to me.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple pictures of the interior of Midford Castle because I think it's gorgeous.
Oh, beautiful. Are those painted books on the wall?
No, those are real books.
Are they real books?
Those are inset bookshelves.
These ones?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was about to hate it.
No.
They look cartoonish.
No, but this kitchen, I would kill and die for this kitchen.
That doesn't look
gorgeous.
like a kitchen to me. That looks like a butler's pantry. I bet you anything it's a butler's pantry, and that makes it
It's
even
entirely possible, but
better.
this is like just an incredibly beautiful, like it is a book lover's dream.
There's a lot of books in this.
And like arched windows, arched doorways.
And the little keyhole windows on top of the
just
on top of the rooms.
Yeah, a really beautiful, like ornate style, very like cozy cat. It looks like a princess lives there.
It looks like a princess. This is Belle's castle. This is where Belle lives.
Yes, exactly. God, it's so pretty. I love it so much.
You live it so much.
I love it so much. So that's Midford Castle. We got 2 more.
I literally, without even looking at the location, knew this one was in New Orleans.
Yes. This is Our Mother of Perpetual Help Chapel in New Orleans, Louisiana. It looks like it's in New Orleans.
This looks like this looks like American Horror Story.
Yes.
Coven.
It's funny that you should say that. I couldn't find any numbers on what he purchased it for, but it was foreclosed on in 2009 for the total of $2.2 million.
That means he bought it for like $9 million.
It's like a 2-story home in Louisiana. It was a chapel for a while, specifically like a place that people would be able to go to get help. It was like an outreach kind of care location within the church. This property was formerly owned by Anne Rice, the author of Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
And this specific house is featured in her novel Violin.
This is what you buy if you want to get haunted.
Yes.
What the fuck?
It certainly is. It's 13,000 square feet, porch on the 2nd floor. It's beautiful. I saw a couple of pictures of the inside too, and it's all like, it's exactly how you want like a former chapel in New Orleans to look.
I would be scared to live there. I don't think
you would be right to be scared.
I don't think I'm a fearful person, but looking at this house, there's no fucking way I would live there.
Yeah. All right. Our next one is also in New Orleans.
No! Max, what?
Nicholas Kim Coppola, stage name Nicolas Cage, purchased the La Laurie Mansion in New Orleans, Louisiana, United States.
What's wrong with him? Oh my God!
Purchased in 2007 for $3.4 million, foreclosed on in 2009. Wasn't able to find the total. 8 beds, 8 baths. This is the previous home of purported serial killer Madame Delphine Lalaurie, who is historically known as one of the most barbarous killers in history.
She's the most evil woman in American history, at least.
That, like, is on record, absolutely.
Yes.
She devoted entire parts of this house to torturing and killing enslaved Black people in truly some of the most inventive and horrifying ways that I've ever heard of.
This might be unpopular, but I don't think it is. This house should have been torn down. This house should have been torn down, and they should have instead put a monument up there in this house. I'm mad that this house still exists and that fucking Nicolas Cage was able to purchase it. Probably as a fucking, like, gimmick.
Yes. It is considered one of the most haunted houses in the United States, which is why Nicolas Cage purchased it. In 2007, he said, quote, "I bought it figuring it would be a good place in which to write the great American horror novel. I didn't get too far with the novel."
No, is he not a good writer? That's shocking. It's shocking that the man can read.
He specifically purchased it because it's like the most haunted building in the United States, and he was like, I could write a horror novel. And then he tried writing a horror novel and was like, nah, not for me.
Too hard. I'm too busy buying more stuff. By the way, it's not the most haunted house. It's certainly up there, probably top 5. Do you know what the most haunted house in the United States is? Let everybody think about it. What do you think, Max?
I don't know.
It's the White House. The most haunted house in the United States is, in fact, the White House, mostly because of how many people throughout American history have reported seeing the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. Winston Churchill said one time he was taking a bath and Abraham Lincoln showed up in the bathroom. I was like,
room in there for one more?
Scooch over. I got a back pain. See? He's like, I don't think this is Lincoln. I can't be sure, but I feel like it's somebody disguised as Lincoln. Maybe not a ghost.
Maybe not a ghost. Maybe just a guy.
Yeah. Fucking crazy guy that wants to get in the bath with Winston Churchill. That's for sure a bath farter. Like, you don't even want to be in a hot tub with him. He farts in a communal hot tub.
He turns them all into a jacuzzi.
Rotten hell. Anyway.
Woo! If you've heard the name Madame Delphine Lalaurie, it's probably you've watched American Horror Story Coven.
Yeah.
She's a character in it played by Kathy Bates. And they go into the backstory of her. And I watched that show and I was like, wow, this is a horrifying character to have invented. And then I found out that it was like a historical figure.
Like in a lot, I stopped watching American Horror Story. I watched the first couple seasons. I got to Coven, hated it. I know that's unpopular. And I only watched a couple episodes into the Carnival one. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But with her character specifically, I was like, you're overdoing it. It feels masturbatory, some of the stuff that they did on that show, where I'm like, great. Kathy Bates really is fucking torturing Black people. Yeah. Like, honestly, it feels masturbatory how they actually did it. It didn't feel respectful at all to me.
Yeah.
Which is why also this house should not exist.
No, I agree. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. He purchased the Lalaurie mansion and sold it eventually. It was foreclosed on, but he very quickly tried to get rid of it, had a hard time doing so.
Yeah.
But he came to believe that by purchasing the house, he had inflicted upon himself a curse.
Oh, yeah, that was his problems.
Yeah, that's where all his problems came from.
Let's go ahead and blame the ghosts.
Mm-hmm. I have heard accounts that he blames his financial problems on the curse of the Lalaurie mansion. Mm-hmm. I didn't find him quoted as saying that ever, but I don't think that that's necessarily the main problem. Also in New Orleans, in Louisiana, the United States, he purchased a plot of land in one of the cemeteries. In St.
Go ahead. I'm going to make it through this. I promise.
He purchased actually 2 plots in the St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, which is one of the oldest cemeteries in New Orleans. It's also home to the grave of Marie Laveau, who is the voodoo queen of New Orleans, one of the most prominent figures in voodoo history.
Also featured in American Horror Story Coven.
Yes.
Beautifully portrayed by Angela Bassett.
Yes. He purchased 2 plots and combined them and built a 9-foot-tall white pyramid tomb on it for when he dies.
Totally natural. Fits
totally
in
normal.
with the entire aesthetic.
Everything around it is these beautifully mildewed above ground crypts and everything. And then there's this fucking ghostly white modern pyramid. It looks fucking horrible.
This looks like a Scientology fucking pyramid.
Yes, it really does. It really does. The idea of him purchasing this land was that he thought that if he was buried in the same cemetery as Marie Laveau, he would be protected from the Lalaurie curse that he had inflicted on himself by buying the Lalaurie mansion.
Egregious and racist.
Yeah, pretty bad.
You bought the house where a bunch of Black people were tortured and murdered in, and now you're saying that you want to, in death, somehow attach yourself to the name of a famous Black person from New Orleans. Racist.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad. And it's also specifically being he wanted her spirit to protect his spirit from a curse that he brought on himself.
Her fucking spirit wants nothing to do with you,
no.
Coppola.
Coppola. There's an inscription on the pyramid that says Omnia ab uno, everything from one, in Latin. He's refused to explain what that means. Really seems like some Illuminati shit, though.
It kind of makes sense, of all people. I mean, they always say that all people kind of started in the same place and branched outwards and stuff like that. It makes sense.
That could be what it means. This has become something of a local landmark. A lot of tourists to New Orleans will go to Nicolas Cage's Pyramid Tomb, and people will put on lipstick and kiss the tomb. So at any given time, it's covered in a bunch of lipstick kisses. Nobody knows why, but that's just a weird tradition that's evolved around his crypt.
I'm going to start a new tradition of pissing on his grave. Try kissing it now.
So that brings us to the end of his properties at the time of financial dismay. And you might be thinking, gosh, he lost all of those. He still owns the tomb, as far as I know. But he lost the majority of these other properties, and poor him. But fortunately, he has been able to get out of some of his financial distress. And in 2024, he purchased a mansion in Malibu for $10.5 million, which is now his primary residence. I have a couple of pictures here. This looks like a supervillain's lair.
Yeah.
This looks like a Bond villain's lair.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's all like cubes and glass, and
Yeah, it's very geometric. It's very California.
yeah, just right on the ocean in Malibu. God.
Hope it doesn't burn down. What's the next one?
So that brings us to the end of our properties for Nicolas Cage.
God damn it.
And again, this is, by his account, the main reason why he ended up in financial trouble. I also think that's probably the least interesting part of this presentation.
Okay.
So it's going to get more interesting and faster.
I think that was pretty interesting.
Okay. Up next, we have further possessions, his vehicles.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage is a real car head. He loves cars a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So much. And he owns a lot of them. And also several other vehicles.
You know who also owns a lot of cars? I don't know. Mob bosses, Tom Cruise, Scientology members.
People who are too rich and have nothing to do with their money.
People who aren't rich at all but want to pretend that they are rich, so they bankrupt their families with tons of cars. Perhaps.
He has a car collection that was at one time considered one of the most covetable in the world.
Jay Leno.
Jay Leno.
I guess a lot of shakes. I don't know.
His car collection was at one time considered one of the most respectable in the world. He did have to sell a lot of his cars, but specifically the ethos behind his collection was that he gathered historically significant cars, things from movies that had inspired him or things that had historical significance that he thought was interesting. Mm-hmm. So he has his car collection, then he has a couple of other things, but I'm going to go through these. I don't know fuck about cars, so I'm just going to do my best.
Sure.
First up, we have a one-of-a-kind Lamborghini Miura SVJ purchased in 1997 for $450,000. This
stupid car.
Yes, it's like a little orange coupe kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's a custom car that was built for the late Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. He had it custom made, and then ended up, when he died, I believe, he ended up, his estate sold it to Nicolas Cage. Mm-hmm. At the time that Nicolas Cage purchased it, it had less than 1,864 miles on it. Apparently, the Shah of Iran had primarily used it to go up and down mountains for skiing trips.
I also don't know anything about cars. I don't watch Fast and Furious for the cars, guys. I watch it for the plot. And the plot is Vin Diesel. The plot is Vin Diesel and Ludacris, let's be honest.
Yeah.
However, I don't think you buy a Lamborghini to drive it like long distances. You don't buy a Lamborghini to like put wear and tear on it.
Yeah.
You buy a Lamborghini to like go on dates and like let people see it and then park it back in your fucking garage and let it sit and rot.
Yeah, and the mile count would
exactly
corroborate that. But he was specifically using it to go up and down mountains to go skiing. So he would drive it up to the top of the mountain, park it, have someone drive it back down to the bottom of the mountain, and he would ski down, and then they would pick him up and drive him back to the top of the mountain. Mm-hmm. Really expensive car for that.
Sure.
But that's fine. At the time that Nick purchased it, it still had its snow tires on for skiing trips. At the time that it was purchased in 1997, it was the most expensive car sold at auction that year in Europe.
$450,000. It's a lot.
Yup. Up next, we have a Gulfstream 1159A turbojet, just a private plane for himself. Yeah. Purchase price estimated at more than $20 million.
Yeah. Plus the expense of having a cabin crew and a pilot and shit.
And gas. Yes.
And also docking fees. It's not docking fees for an airplane.
Like landing.
Sure.
This is a big part of why he got in trouble with the IRS, because he claimed this Gulfstream as a business expense.
If you're flying it back and forth to where you need to go for business, I can see that.
I can see it. But also,
he might not be allowed to do it, but
Yeah, and also you don't need a top-of-the-line private plane to do that.
I mean, you say you don't need it, but like Taylor Swift has her private fucking jets that she's spending $1 billion a year to fly everywhere. And I'm guaranteeing you that that is a business expense.
Yeah.
But also she's probably flying it more for business than he is.
Yeah. At the time that he was audited by the IRS, this, specifically the Gulfstream alone, was audited for a total of $666,000 in unpaid taxes.
You know who I think we can blame for that?
The devil.
No, probably Lullery.
Mm.
You know, she probably did it. 666,000. It's probably because he bought that evil house. Nicolas Cage. Poor thing.
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Next, a fleet of yachts. A fleet in this case is about 3 that I'm aware of, but a fleet of yachts. Purchase price estimated $70 million. The leader of his fleet of yachts, named the Sarita, that yacht alone was about $20 million. Specifically, or no, so I'm sorry, there are 4 yachts in his fleet, not 3. 4 luxury yachts that he purchased specifically to carry him from the Bahamas to his private island in the Bahamas.
Why do you need 4?
Janey, don't be silly.
Max.
What if he brings friends?
4 friends? 1 for each yacht?
1 for each yacht, of course.
Friends.
Well, yeah, I mean, he would obviously need 3 yachts he would need 4 yachts to bring 3 friends. It's him and 1, and then 1 in each of the other ones, because all of the yachts only have 1 bedroom. Haha, just kidding. The Sarita, the leader of the fleet specifically, on its own, 1 boat, 12 master bedrooms. Also includes an onboard jacuzzi, a gym, and a lower deck open restaurant. On the 1 boat. On the 1! He can't have that many friends!
Not that many people want to hang out with Nicolas Cage.
On a private island.
Fucking, do we know if he's on the Epstein list? He has to be, right?
Maybe.
I will fucking eat my shoes, my rubber fucking slippers that are for inside use only. I will eat them right here in front of you if he's not on the Epstein list.
It's possible.
I'll snort his fucking grave dirt, Max.
12 master bedrooms on a boat that is one of 4 boats. Why? Why? I can't think about that too much or I'm going to start screaming. As far as the rest of his vehicle collection, I'll give you the short version. By 2004, his collection reportedly included about 30 motorcycles and about 50 cars, including 9 Rolls Royces. Is it Bugatti? I think a Bugatti is a motorcycle. No, is it not? I don't know.
I'm glad you came to me with this. It's important you know Bugatti is a type of lizard.
I don't think it is.
It's a type of exotic lizard.
Okay.
It's real big.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
30 motorcycles and 50 cars, including at least 9 Rolls Royces, Bugattis, Jaguars, Porsches, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis. All of those are plural.
Rolls Royces are the ugliest cars to ever have been made except for the toaster cars. Everything else is too small and stupid. If a man has to basically sit on the actual ground in order to be in his car, and if he can't fit a single muscular friend, it's a stupid car.
Yeah, the only cars that are valid are the ones that are in the Fast and Furious franchise.
No, not even those ones, because they did the fucking math on those cars, and half the fucking shitty cars that they're driving in this, I'm mad, half those fucking shitty cars that they're driving in those movies wouldn't actually physically be able to fit The Rock and Vin Diesel in them, sitting side by side. They had to physically make them larger. They're not even driving the real cars, guys.
Wake up, sheeple!
I'm in it for the cars. Are you, you fucking idiot? Because those men can't even fit in those cars. Now, weedy little fucking Nicolas Cage can fit in all of those.
Oh, for sure. But that's just a little bit about his infamous car collection.
I bet you anything he didn't even drive more than half of those cars.
Hey. So moving on from his collection of vehicles, we have his collectibles. Now, this is my personal favorite section of the presentation. Because he's just a silly guy. He has interests, and boy, does he spend money on them.
Got it. I'm going to guess. You already said the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He also has a bunch of Precious Moments figurines. Got a big old collection of different types of chips. Only eats the plain ones.
Oof.
That's what I would do if I was an eccentric millionaire.
You can just buy chips, You could do that.
And Max,
like on a budget of $50, you could be an eccentric collector of chips.
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to take a quick break first? I feel like this is
a good place to stop. Guys, let's take a little break and so I can scream and scream and scream. And we'll be back to talk about his collectibles.
All right.
I have some thoughts that I had over the break.
Okay. All right.
Number one, I do think I need to give a little more explanation as to why I called him racist regarding Marie Laveau. The fact that he bought the house that belonged to Lalaurie is disgusting in general, because it was a gimmick for him. It was like, isn't this quirky and fun that these horrible things happened to Black people? I mean, at the very least, he wasn't thinking of Black people. He was just thinking a bunch of murders took place here. There was human suffering. Isn't this funny and quirky? And can I use it to make my own brand a little funnier and quirkier? And then later, when he was feeling guilty, he tried to make a Black woman, a historical Black woman, do spiritual and emotional labor for him. That is racist.
Yep.
And again, at the very least, he was being tone deaf and racist. But like unintentionally racist. Okay. That's at the very least. That's like the grace I'm going to give him, is that not only was he tone deaf, he was unintentionally racist. But at the very most, he was intentionally racist and also misogynistic. Asking any woman to do any labor for you after you made a very poor decision financially and morally. Mm-hmm. That's fucked up, Nicolas Cage. So that's the first thing. Second, I would also like to do a little bit of not backtracking, but I feel like I've been very hard on Nicolas Cage, and I do think that is worth mentioning that this is a sickness. And being charitable, I think that this is a very prominent sickness that a lot of people have, mostly rich people because they can afford to have this sickness. But being a shopaholic and buying in excess and filling your life with material objects like this is not new, and it is also not necessarily something that many people can overcome on their own. So I would like to be charitable and say that this is probably a sickness and being a disease that needs to be said. I will also say that I am brimming with rage.
Yeah.
And I can't, then that's the only disclaimer you're going to get, because I'm probably going to say some fucked up things later about Nicolas Cage.
I do think it's worth noting also that Nicolas Cage had his dirty laundry forcibly aired by this IRS investigation.
Yeah, he sure for as fuck wouldn't want everyday people to know about all of this shit that he's doing.
Yeah. But also there are a bunch of other celebrities who have as much, if not more, egregious wealth that they have as ridiculously spent. So
Jay Leno.
Yep. So not to say that Nicolas Cage is I think that he's probably a particularly notable example, but that's only because we have the data to back up what exactly he owned or didn't own because of the IRS investigation. And also some of my data is based on secondhand sources and things like that, like realties, which aren't required to accurately report numbers. But also, I don't think that he's as far out of the norm as we would like to think. So I think that this is a systemic issue, and Jesus Christ, you don't need that many fucking houses.
No, but just like with any addiction, I think that that is worth noting, that you can tell somebody you don't need to have that many beers tonight, and it's not going to actually, that's not going to register on an alcoholic, you know? Yeah. So I think that should be stated, but I am still fucking mad at him. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to his collectibles. This is fun. It's good.
Okay, good.
All right. First up, we have Action Comics #1. You've probably heard about this comic before. This is the first ever appearance of Superman.
Okay.
In any comic, anywhere. Action Comics #1. He purchased it in 1997 for $150,000.
Whoa.
There are only about 100 existing copies in the world. It is rumored that this copy that Nicolas Cage owned was the best preserved copy of those 100 copies.
Yeah.
So this is not something that is like available. These are owned exclusively by like private collectors. They are monumentally expensive. His is $150,000 in 1997. So be millions of dollars now. Interesting thing about this is that someone broke into his house in 2000 and stole Action Comics #1 from him. It was missing for 11 years, and then finally in 2011, it was found in an abandoned storage locker in California.
Yeah, because you can't fucking sell that shit.
No.
Because they'll know who it belongs to, so they just stole it and never did anything with it.
Yep.
Ooh!
Yep.
Stupid thieves.
They returned it to Nicolas Cage because they were able to prove that it was his copy, but he immediately turned around and sold it for $2.2 million because presumably it was too much trouble if someone was going to break into his house to steal it.
Well, also, this is 2011.
Yeah.
It seems like the bulk of his financial troubles happened in 2009, so he was probably like, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. At the time that Nicolas Cage purchased Action Comics #1, it set the record for the most expensive comic sold at auction.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But he's a big nerd, so
Sure.
I can see why he would be interested in this. Next, we have...
I bet he never read it.
I bet he never opened it.
Yeah.
Probably mint condition in the sleeve and everything like that. Yeah. Next, we have a fossilized Tarbosaurus skull.
Jesus. Okay. This is a fucking dinosaur head.
Purchased in 2007 for $276,000. This is a fossilized skull of a Tarbosaurus bataar, otherwise known as Tyrannosaurus bataar. They have since been considered the same species and kind of merged, but those are the two scientific names that are used for this creature. The skull itself is about between 70 to 96 million years old. It was found in the Gobi Desert in Mongolia and then sold at auction. Nicolas Cage actually outbid Leonardo DiCaprio for this skull, and that's how he got it. In 2015, Nicolas Cage lost possession of the skull because Homeland Security reached out to him and let him know that the skull was likely the property of the country of Mongolia. It had probably been stolen from Mongolia, and so they encouraged him to return it. So he returned it to the country of Mongolia and was just out $250,000.
Okay. Good for him.
Yeah.
I wonder how they were encouraging him.
Yes. Yes. But like the word on the street was that this was stolen from the country of Mongolia and then sold at auction. So the people who sold it to him didn't actually have the right to sell it.
Okay.
But yes, that has since been returned to Mongolia. We have a meteorite from Mars, a Martian meteorite, one might say.
Sure.
He purchased this Martian meteorite, and I have an interview from him talking about the meteorite. He was in a movie called The Color Out of Space, which is about a meteorite landing on a farm, and the meteorite has some quality to it that affects the landscape around it over time. And so, like, the horticulture of the area starts becoming strange and unusual. It's based on an H.P. Lovecraft story.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. In one of the interviews that he did surrounding The Color Out of Space, he talked about this meteorite that he owned. I'm just going to read this quote because it's fucking crazy. I was very lucky. At one time, I actually owned a slab of a Martian meteorite. It was actually quite famous because people thought there were microbes in it that may connote life, and that theory had been debunked. It's probably worth a fortune now, but sadly, I think it was stolen from my house. There was a time when things were getting stolen from my properties, and that one went.
Yeah, when you have that many properties, anybody could just fucking break in.
You could just misplace your meteorite.
Oh my God.
I think it was one of the things that was stolen. I think. Nicholas, $250,000!
Did you write it off in a police report? He has no idea what's in each of those houses. He has no idea what could be. It's a fucking thieves' paradise. Especially considering you know where Nicolas Cage is at all times, so you could just go to any one of his fucking properties. Yep. This is how those people started breaking in and living and wearing Paris Hilton's clothes.
I just think it's fucking crazy that he spent a ton of money on a meteorite and then just doesn't know where it is. It sounds like fucking bonkers. And also that it might have had microbes that were an indicator of like life outside of Earth in the universe. And he was just like, yeah, it was kind of like a cool thing.
I mean, it was debunked.
Yeah.
I kind of get that part.
He's
like, it was famous for a little while. They thought it wasn't true. The weird part is I don't know where it is. Maybe somebody has it.
Maybe.
Another thing that would be very easy to track down if you tried to sell it.
Yes, that's true. Up next, we have allegedly shrunken heads.
Turns out, racist.
I don't have any official accounting of this, but visitors to Nicolas Cage's house claimed that he had a collection of shrunken heads in his house for, quote, unknown reasons.
Because he's a fucking show-off narcissist. Because he likes to be the quirkiest person in the world. Because he doesn't care about the history of human suffering. Because he thinks it's funny to have human remains at his disposal.
Yep. Not great.
Because he's a fucking cultural parasite. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really not great. Don't love it, for sure. Wasn't able to find any like confirmation of this or pictures of his collection or anything like that. This is just a stock photo of some shrunken heads. But
maybe add a little arrow that just says not actually his.
Yeah, some of these are stock photos. I believe like the Tarbosaurus skull is actually his. The meteorite is actually his. A lot of these sources are from kind of not the best. Yeah. So I cannot necessarily vouch for the credibility of the photos, but allegedly owned a bunch of shrunken heads, which I wouldn't disbelieve.
Yeah.
We're moving on into possessions, animals. I lied. This is my favorite part.
Okay.
Do you like my corporate art?
I do. I do.
It keeps getting more unhinged. As far as the animals that Nicolas Cage owned, I'm going to go from, again, least crazy to craziest.
Okay.
The first thing that we have up here is an African pied crow named Hugin.
He's so cute.
He is so cute. He's named after, in Norse mythology, Odin, the like main god, has two crows that are his like pets / familiars named Hugin and Munin. Mm-hmm. This crow is named Hugin after in Norse mythology. This crow lives in a geodesic dome inside of Nicolas Cage's house. As far as I know, still lives there with him. A couple of his animals he gave up to like preservation initiatives and wildlife reserves and things like that. But as far as I know, Hugin is still with him.
There's like a tarp looks like on the walls and underneath this enclosure. I would love to see a picture of the actual enclosure because right now this looks pretty sterile.
Yeah. This is actually a still from a 60 Minutes tour of Nicolas Cage's house, which is fascinating to watch if you're interested. I believe I have that linked here. But quote from Nicolas Cage about his African pied crow, Hugin. He's taken to calling me names. It's comical. At least it is to me. When I leave the room, he'll say, bye, and then go, ass.
This crow is me.
Of his choice to purchase and own a crow, he says, crows are very intelligent, and I like their appearance, the Edgar Allan Poe aspect. I like the goth element. I'm a goth.
You fucking nerd.
He's such a dweeb.
Oh, Summer didn't like that. Summer just barked and stomped out. He's like, I draw the line at you calling him a nerd.
He did an interview with Marilyn Manson. Where
another fucking rapist, women abuser, piece of shit.
Yep. Where they like interviewed each other, kind of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They are fans of each other's work. Mm-hmm. In his interview with Marilyn Manson, Nick Cage said that Hugin, quote, likes to eat cat food, which makes it easy because I give my cats Sheba perfect portions. And Hugin enjoys it as well. I think he has a sense of humor. So maybe that's why he called me an asshole.
Well, first of all, crows do like cat food.
Yes.
Second of all, is this fucking interview sponsored? And third of all, you are the company that you keep, you asshole. Yeah. I'm this crow. I stand with Hugin.
Yeah, Hugin's right. So that's Hugin. Up next, we have a two-headed gopher snake named Harvey Dent.
Oh,
Harvey
nerd!
I know, he's such a fucking nerd! Named Harvey Dent after the character Two-Face from the Batman comics. This gopher snake is two-headed as a result of bicephaly, which is when...
Bisexuality? Couldn't decide.
The snake is bisexual.
The snake is bisexual. Also, one head is called Harvey. The other one is called Dent.
This is interesting because a lot of bicephalous snakes do not survive past when they're like hatchlings. This one survived into adulthood. Eventually, though, Nicolas Cage ended up giving it up to the Audubon Zoo in New Orleans in 2008 because it became very difficult to feed Harvey because the heads would fight over food. To be clear, they shared a stomach.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't matter if they fight over it. It's all going to the same place.
Yeah, but they were like beating the shit out of each other. So it was really hard to feed them. So he donated Harvey to the Audubon Zoo, where Harvey lived to be about 14 years old.
Wow.
Which is, pretty old for a snake. Passed away in September of 2021.
Especially a two-headed snake. Good for you, Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
Harvey and Dent.
Harvey Dent. Yeah, he's so fucking weird. This is a picture of actual Harvey Dent, by the way. This is the actual snake that Nicolas Cage owned.
It's a beautiful little snake. Also, I love that on top of every animal picture, you have a little "Hello, my name is" name tag. That's nice.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Because he's such a fucking nerd. They're all nerd names.
Of course they are.
Fucking dweeb. This snake was almost even more famous. Nicolas Cage was filming a movie called Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, which was directed by Werner Herzog. And I have nothing else to say about that.
I wish we had a camera in this room. It's just this like frozen moment.
Werner, why?
Oh, no, that makes sense. I also think Werner Herzog's a piece of shit. I know that is unpopular specifically with you, but he's another one where I'm like, yeah, I get it, you fucking narcissist.
Oh no, he super is. I think he's fascinating. I don't think he's like
he
a
thinks
great
he's fascinating.
Person. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he thinks he's also fascinating. You're in good company.
Yeah.
God, men!
But during the filming of Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, there was a big party at which, quote, Werner Herzog came over, and at the time I owned a two-headed snake, Harvey Dent, brought it out, and everyone was freaked out by it. Werner said, now, Nicholas, we have to put that into the movie. I said, no, I'm not putting it into the movie because this is personal.
Okay.
What?
Sure.
So he filled Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans with snakes, iguanas, and alligators, but he never got the two-headed snake.
All right.
According to Nicolas Cage.
Weird fucking moral line to draw, but sure.
Just the rock in a hard place of fucking crazy people. It's like,
I
want your snake. No. You can't have my snake. It's personal.
I won't dare exploit Harvey Dent except at this party where I bring him out for you all to scream at.
Just what a time. What a time. Nicolas Cage purchased this snake at about $80,000 in 2007.
Sure.
Just for the record.
A lot of animals in 2007.
Yeah. That was like
possessions.
That was the peak of his buying. Next, we have a pair of king cobras, a male and a female. He purchased these in 2005 for $276,000.
Okay, again, $276,000?
Yes.
Jesus.
Weird. He named them Moby and Sheba.
They're beautiful.
This is a picture of just a mating pair of king cobras. These are not the exact ones, but Moby was actually an albino king cobra.
Oh, whoa. That explains a lot of the price.
Yes.
I would assume, yeah.
But also, you're not supposed to own king cobras.
I mean.
Here's a quote from Cage about his cobras. I did have two king cobras, and they were not happy. They would try to hypnotize me by showing me their backs, and then they'd lunge at me. After I told that story on Letterman, the neighborhood wasn't too pleased that I had cobras, so I had them rehomed in a zoo.
Yeah.
He donated them to a local zoo where they live the rest of their lives in captivity with appropriate care for reptiles. In an interview, though, he was asked the question, have the animals ever influenced your acting? And he said specifically, the cobras, definitely. They would try to hypnotize you by going side to side. So when I did Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, that's something my character does before he attacks. Okay. And don't worry, Janey. I've got the Letterman interview.
Let's fucking watch it.
How was your summer? Did you do anything special?
Well, actually, it's funny you should ask me that because you don't have an interest in zoology, I think, and I just acquired two king cobras.
Oh my God!
A male and a female. And the female's name is Sheba. And the male's name is Moby because he's an albino, so it's like Moby Dick. And I have them behind two computer-locked doors behind bulletproof glass. And I like to go in there. Well, actually,
just in case they start shooting.
If they do, I've got 15 minutes to live, so I have to get like an antidote, which is next to the cage, and I just punch into my knee, and I'll be all right. That's not going to happen, but I like to go in there in my red leather chair, with a glass of wine, and watch them as they're watching me. And sometimes Moby will sort of do this little charming snake dance and show his back to me. He's got this like little round circular pattern on the back of his back, and he's doing this dance, and every now and then I just turn around and go, So after that, I have to just sort of kind of say goodnight, kids, and I go upstairs, I have to lie down and think about what just happened.
Absolutely batshit crazy.
A little bit crazy.
So that's his 2 king cobras that want to kill him very badly.
Yeah.
Next on his pets list, we have an Asian water monitor, which is a very big lizard.
Very venomous lizard.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like the most venomous thing in the world, right?
I believe there are species of water monitor that are, yes.
Yeah.
He purchased this Asian water monitor in 2008. I wasn't able to find numbers on how much he purchased it for, but presumably very expensive. His water monitor's name was Michael. Couldn't find an explanation for why that is.
Also, it just looks like Joanna from Rescuers Down Under. The truly sweetest little pet in the entire world. The one that eats all the eggs.
Yeah, the picture that I have here is a water monitor wearing a little pet harness and just walking around and hanging out.
She's so cute.
Just precious. This was a 5-foot Varanus Salvator, which is a speckled Asian water monitor. He ended up donating it to Lake Forest's Wildlife Discovery Center in Memphis, Tennessee in April of 2013, when his filming schedule became too rigorous for him to care for Michael properly.
Good.
So
I would assume he would have people for that. So
yeah. So when he donated it to the Lake Forest Wildlife Discovery Center, they renamed the monitor Grug after Nicolas Cage's character in the movie The Croods.
Okay, but his name is Michael and has been for the past, 5 years?
I don't know if he ever was taught to respond to it or anything like that. But specifically, curator Rob Carmichael is quoted as saying, "He's a huge hit with the public as we let folks take him out for walks on nice days with a harness and leash under close supervision of me and my staff."
So definitely not super venomous. Oh, he's so cute!
Yeah, they have a big, beautiful lake in the Discovery Center, and people will just take this water monitor out for walkies. And I think that's really cute.
Yeah, that's the cutest pet. But also, if you're able to take them on walks and they're able to be, they just like Bearded Dragons seem like dogs to me. They seem to attach to people. And so it kind of bums me out that he had something for 5 years and then gave it over. It's a responsible decision, but also a bummer.
Yeah.
That you would get an animal and allow it to bond, I assume.
Yeah.
And then allow it to have its name changed. Because they seem like dogs to me.
Yeah, very dog-like. These pictures also...
They make it look like a dog.
Yeah, that's a puppy.
That's a puppy.
That's puppy as hell.
Yeah.
As a little aside here, Nicolas Cage has several notable tattoos. He's gotten a lot more recently, but one of his first tattoos, reportedly, is a back tattoo that he got in 1994 of a water monitor.
Oh.
And the water monitor is wearing a top hat and twirling a cane.
Okay, gross. I like the idea of a water monitor tattoo.
He specifically, in talking about the tattoo, he explained that the reason why he got it is because in other cultures, quote, other cultures have initiations into manhood. And that's what the tattoo was for me.
He's just culture mining.
Yeah, he was like, I got this tattoo of a big lizard in a top hat and cane because to show that I'm a man now.
I'm a man now. This little water monitor can put on the Ritz.
I have a picture here. You can kind of see the outline of it here on his shoulder.
That's a hot picture of him.
It really is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, young Nicolas Cage is kind of hot.
He is.
In a
And I'm
crazy
saying
way.
he's super attractive and beautiful in Con Air.
Yeah. This is, I think, Raising Arizona era Nicolas Cage.
Super hot.
Yeah, pretty hot.
Yeah.
He also has a couple of other tattoos that have shown up in recent years. A few of them are Oni or Hanya masks from like demon lore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's a culture miner. He's a fucking parasite.
Yes.
Fucking another rich white person who just wants to have culture so bad.
Yep.
Oh my God.
He also has a tattoo that you can see in this picture here of a flaming skull, which you may recognize as the icon of Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
That character that he played. But also he got that tattoo after the first Ghost Rider movie.
Yeah.
And they had to cover it up for the second Ghost Rider movie because they were like, Ghost Rider can't have a Ghost Rider tattoo.
Yeah, easy enough to cover up. That one makes sense. That one is attached to his life and his actual lived experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of his tattoos are like demons. It looks like there's this one here is an Oni mask. I think this one's a Hanya mask. But yeah, he's actually weirdly private about his tattoos. I was looking for pictures of them and this is the best I could do. He wears a lot of very long sleeves and everything buttoned up, which feels crazy because he doesn't seem like he would.
Mm.
He seems like you would see him shirtless all the time, as a person.
Makes you wonder what they are.
Does make you wonder.
Makes you wonder what he's hiding.
Makes a fella wonder, don't it? I wasn't able to find what this one is that you can see here on his left front shoulder area. Really hard to get pictures of any of these. But that's just an aside about his tattoos, that he has a water monitor tattoo. He fucking loves water monitors.
I like the water monitor one.
Yeah. And he did end up donating that water monitor to that preserve.
Mm-hmm.
But in an interview in 2023, the same 60 Minutes interview where I have the picture of Hugin, he revealed that he has another Asian water monitor now. This one's name is Black Dragon.
Oh, God. You shouldn't have another one.
This one is a little baby, and it's going to get to be about 6 feet long at the time that this was filmed in 2023.
Yeah.
It was just a little guy,
Aw.
little Asian water monitor. From people.com, this is the quote about the tour. "This is my black dragon. It's a monitor lizard," he says, showing the animal to host Sharon Alfonsi while touring what appears to be a 2-story wood-paneled library with a mezzanine and a massive glowing green chandelier. "He'll get to be about 6 feet long. He's like having a real dinosaur in your house. It's kind of amazing. And he's alive."
For now.
And he's alive
And
is such
he's
a wild
alive.
thing to say. I really hope he's taking care of this water monitor.
I mean, I assume he is, but I don't assume that he's going to keep it. Getting a fucking animal
It's a commitment.
is a commitment. It's a lifelong, it's that animal's lifelong commitment. And if you can't do it, then don't do it.
Yeah.
But it's not nice to get an animal and take care of it and love it and show it off and have all of the novelty of having an animal and then just leave it somewhere.
It also, sometimes the responsible choice is to give up your care of it.
But then I'm looking
you
at you
should-
sideways when you get another of the exact same one.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Next, we have an octopus. The octopus's name is Cool.
Another deeply emotional and sensitive and intellectual thing. Go ahead.
Because he's cool.
Pretty cool.
This octopus is reportedly worth between $150,000 and $240,000. There was an interview with him in the 90s, which I just have quoted here. Nicolas Cage wanted to introduce his pet baby octopus to his visitors. Putting his hand into the aquarium, he dislodged the creature from behind a rock. Angry, it squirted ink all over his fingers and shot away to another hiding place. "He's mad at me now," said Cage. "What a pity. Just when we were beginning to get along." Cage cares about his octopus and all the other marine life he keeps in his 2 large aquariums. He finds it restful to lie in bed and watch them. Dentists put them in waiting rooms for the same purpose.
That's true. Which home is this in?
Great question. I think it's the one that has the model trains. Based on the timeline, I'm pretty sure it's that one.
You think he moved it to Malibu with him?
Hard to say. This is a quote that I wanted to pull out of this article because I would like to make t-shirts that have this on it.
Okay.
I feel like this can replace or at least supplement a phrase that we have in like the common cultural mindset at this point in time.
Okay.
And this is about the octopus. Nicolas Cage says, "What's an octopus? $80? You're not going to go into dire straits buying an octopus." He said this explaining that like his financial troubles were the result of his real estate purchases and not his other eccentric purchases. But you will remember that the octopus was between $150,000 and $240,000, and the fact that he doesn't know the difference between $80 and $240,000, I think is probably the source of his financial woes. Just to reiterate, $150,000 to $240,000.
Max has several slides where just more and more arrows and like blinking circles and shit are circling that price.
The fact that he doesn't know how much it costs, what's an octopus? $80?
What's a banana cost? $10?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, as far as his pets, we have a couple of miscellaneous reports. These reports are unsubstantiated.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I would find them believable, but we have reports that Cage has at various times owned a crocodile and also a saltwater shark.
Sure.
Why not?
Are there freshwater sharks?
No idea.
A crocodile. Remember when we went to
Yes, south of the border.
south of the border and we went to the reptile place, like Reptile Lagoon, thinking like this will be so fun, and they were just treated so badly, and we were like, Jesus. Again, alligators, these things, they have fucking emotional intellect.
Yeah, they don't like to be enclosed. They don't like to be
In the fucking
looked at.
dark.
and-
Like, there's no possible way that you can be properly caring for a crocodile unless you have an outdoor giant fucking man-made lake in your house, I suppose.
which isn't outside the realm of possibility.
I guess
but-
that's not, but I doubt it.
But I
I doubt it because does he only own the Malibu place now?
I'm sure he owns other properties, but that is the one that was most recently reported on as his purchasing.
Yeah. By the way, I saw the alligator at our thing finally, and he's so cute.
Aw.
He's so cute. He's little. I thought he was going to be big. Yeah. We have an alligator in our man-made lake near where we live, and people keep reporting on it in like next door, and they're like, oh my God, like there's an alligator here, like watch out. And they keep showing pictures of giant fucking alligators. And I was like, that's what he looks like? I've never seen him. So I've been on the lookout. I finally found him, and I guess those are just stock photos they found on the internet because ours is little. He's cute.
Aw, just a little guy.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
So that completes our accounting of the worldly possessions of Nicolas Cage. I would like to discuss a little bit further what I consider to be the import of this presentation.
Sure.
But to wrap up, Nicolas Cage, as of 2022, reported that he had settled all of his debts, both to the IRS and to various private investors. Today, he is estimated to be worth around $25 million.
Okay.
On the idea of retirement, Cage said in 2021, no. That can't happen. To do what I do in cinema has been like a guardian angel for me, and I need it. I'm healthier when I'm working. I need a positive place to express my life experience, and filmmaking has given me that. So I'm never going to retire.
I believe him.
I believe him also.
Yeah. Also, I don't think he can. I don't think he can ever retire. I know he says he settled all his debt, but I do think an addict is an addict. And I think that without proper actual therapy, which I doubt he's getting, you're going to slip back into that. And he's going to start buying more and more exotic pets and more cars. And it's going to be a endless cycle for him.
Yeah.
The best thing for him to do would be to get out of the spotlight.
Yeah. But the import of this is that there was a period of time between about 2009 to 2022 where Nicolas Cage was in a lot of movies in order to settle his debts to the IRS and to private investors.
Yeah.
The word around Hollywood has been for the past several years that Nicolas Cage will accept basically any role that you give him.
Yeah.
Because he's in debt and needed,
Yeah.
which is why some people account for some of his films, especially in the last 10 years or so, being not good.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of them have been not good.
Yeah.
But I have a point to this. I have here an article linked to Screen Rant, Does Nick Cage Really Only Make Bad Movies? Where they talk a little bit about his choice in the films that he works on and everything like that, whether that is actually an artistic choice or whether it is a purely financial decision that he's making.
Yeah.
But to that point, I have an interview with Nicolas Cage, and there are a couple of interviews or accounts of this interview that all kind of have the same title, which is like Nick Cage admits that some of the movies that he's made are, quote, crummy.
Yeah.
Right? But this one, Nicolas Cage admits to having taken, quote, crummy roles to pay back debt following real estate market crash.
Mm-hmm.
Nicolas Cage said of his debt and of his process of settling up, I was overinvested in real estate. The real estate market crashed and I couldn't get out in time. I paid them all back, but it was about $6 million. I never filed for bankruptcy.
Okay.
Cage said that it was a dark period in his life, but booking roles kept him afloat, helping him to pay off his debt despite the direct-to-video films he ended up doing. Work was always my guardian angel. It may not have been blue chip, but it was still work, he added. Even if the movie ultimately is crummy, they know I'm not phoning it in, that I care every time.
I agree with him on that.
Yes.
I was going to say, I feel like the biggest appeal to all of those movies in this particular era was that Nicolas Cage is being batshit crazy and he's going 120% and he's chewing all the scenery. But also, he delivered on that every single time. There's no movie where anybody ever said Nicolas Cage is phoning it in. If anything, they're like, he's insane and he believes all the stuff that he's doing.
Yes.
Because he's acting as hard in these crazy, really bad movies as he is in the really good movies that he like won Oscars for. So like just he's going as hard on all of them. So I do believe that he doesn't.
Yeah, he's not phoning it in at any point in
doesn't treat
time.
anything like he's doing a small role. Is the positive thing about Nicolas Cage, and also the batshit crazy thing about Nicolas Cage.
Exactly. And I think that, like, again, the title of these articles is sort of deceiving because it's not as though he's saying, like, yeah, I took shitty roles because I needed the money. He's saying, I took roles and some of the movies turned out shitty, but I tried my hardest.
Yeah.
You know?
And also he's saying, I'm grateful for every single role that I had because even if it was bad, it helped me get out of a dark period of my life. And you know what? I will also say, Chris Pratt also was interviewed a while back, and he made a statement that kind of stuck with me too, where he was like, honestly, I don't turn down a lot of work because I don't know how long I'll be able to do this. I wasn't able to do this before, and how long am I going to get to do this? I doubt that that's still his mindset, but it was a moment where he was like, you know, you talk about like, they're just doing anything. And he's like, well, it's a job. I have a family. I'm a little stressed out about certain things, but also I had to work so hard to get here that sometimes it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
You got to be kind of grateful for what you get. you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like that mentality. I think that that's a nice mentality to have.
Yeah. And I think that this makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I think that this is like a very realistic and thoughtful self-accounting on Nicolas Cage's part.
Yeah.
I think that this is a good way to like treat his career and everything. And again, there has been kind of the buzz around Nicolas Cage for the past decade or so in Hollywood has been that he like picks shitty movies. And I don't think that that's true. And I have some proof to that point, but I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
He said of the movies that he was doing, when I was doing 4 movies a year back to back, I still had to find something in them to be able to give it my all. They didn't work, all of them. Some of them were terrific, like Mandy, but some of them didn't work. He didn't name any specifically, the Croods. But I never phoned it in. So if there was a misconception, it was that I was just doing it and not caring. I was caring.
Yeah, I believe him.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a website called The Numbers, which takes the box office numbers and the production numbers for movies and gives you like a holistic accounting of them. And you can also search by like director, by movie studio, by actor, and see all of the films that they have worked on and kind of get an idea of their review as an actor, director, whatever. I came across this researching for this presentation, and it has a ton of really cool data. So if you are like a movie wonk, definitely look into it.
Movie wonk.
Yeah. And there's a really impressive and kind of beautiful spreadsheet that I put together. And if you click on this, if you are looking at the presentation, you click on this link, you can take a look at it in person. This beautiful, incredible, monumental, gorgeous spreadsheet that I've created.
Somebody really hot made this for sure.
For sure. Somebody who is so good at stuff. This is every one of Nicolas Cage's acting credits, accompanied by its release date, the year that it was released, the character that he plays, his role in the movie, whether it's considered a supporting actor or a leading actor. And then I have the rating as accounted for on thenumbers.com, the production budget as reported for the movies. Not every movie has a production budget reported. And then the domestic box office, the international box office, the worldwide box office, which is domestic plus international. Yeah. And then the profit, which is the worldwide box office minus the production budget. Yeah. So I have the numbers are from thenumbers.com. I calculated the profit and loss in some cases on these movies, as well as the averages for his movies over time. Yeah. So over the course of his career, Nicolas Cage has had 117 acting credits.
That's a lot.
And that's not including movies that are currently in production. Yeah. The total of the production budget for every movie that he's been in is $2.7 billion. His films average a budget of $51,000. His domestic box office averages $38 million. His international box office averages $40.7 million. And his profit total over the course of his career is $2.8 trillion.
Jesus.
For all of his movies. Not his profit, but the profit of the movies that he's made. His movies average a profit of about $53 million.
Jesus.
That's after production costs, that for the ones that the production costs are available. I also calculated the average rating of all of his movies. And again, this is based off of the ratings on thenumbers.com, so this might not be a holistic accounting, but yes, it is out of 10. Each one is given a rating that is a number between 1 and 10, including 1 decimal point. Yeah. So you can see the ratings for all of his movies here. His movies average over the course of his entire career 5.9 stars out of
mediocre.
10. Yeah. Pretty middle of the road.
That is. What's the rating for Connor?
Oh boy, hang on. 6.9.
Nice. Hey, that is nice. Max, how long did this take you?
I don't want to say.
This is insane. Did you submit this to thenumbers.com?
No, they already have all the data.
Then why'd you make your own?
Well, I needed to analyze the data, so I had to write formulas about it. It was very easy, but collecting the data and formatting everything was a whole thing. So anyways, I built this whole spreadsheet of all of his movies, all of their ratings, all of the budgets. He's a profitable actor overall. You can tell from these numbers. Yeah. And his movies average above average in ratings. Yeah. 5.9 above average.
Pretty good.
I have a graph here from this data of the ratings of his movies by year. I did spend an amount of time on this. So you can see here, and you guys can take a look at this also in the presentation on Canva, but his movies generally average around 6 6 out of 10. You can kind of see that like line of trend here. But you can also see over the course of his career that they kind of fluctuate between about 7 and about 5 very sort of consistently, where he does movies that are better than average, he does movies that are average, and that has been the case forever.
Yeah.
So you see right here, 2009, this is when he started accepting roles that people considered below what they would expect for someone of his talent.
Yeah.
It's not a change from before.
No, it really doesn't.
No, this is pretty consistent over the course of his career. If anything, the surprising thing is how low the ratings are in 2025 for his movies.
I don't think he's as relevant as he was before. I also think that people stopped taking him seriously. So they're not like rushing to go see Nick. In 2009, it was a thing. And 2009 to 2000, we'll say 15, it was a thing that every time Nicolas Cage was in anything, people were like, oh my God, I gotta go see Nicolas Cage being insane. But all the people that were my age that were doing that are now grown up enough to be kind of done with his bullshit and don't really want to sit through a Nicolas Cage movie anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that people aren't going to see him, and also that they might be a little more harsh with their ratings.
Yeah. And also, I'm not a data analyst. This is just based on what I have, so I might have made mistakes in the accounting for this, but I did my best, so give me a break. So I would posit to you that this like flop period in Nicolas Cage's career is not a flop period. This is consistent for his acting abilities, and also that period from 2009 to the present makes up about a third of his acting career.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we can consider this like, oh, the period of time when Nicolas Cage was making bad movies. I think that he's just like that.
I think that at this point, though, hopefully he has gotten control of his spending, because he's not going to get a second go at that. He's not going to be able to overcome that again, I don't think. That's my prediction.
Yeah. A couple of notable data points from this. Out of the 117 movies that he is in, he is a supporting actor and not a lead or lead ensemble actor in only 11.
Jesus.
9/10 of the movies that he's in, he is either the main character or a main character.
I wonder if
makes
Francis
sense.
Ford Coppola ever regretted his decisions.
Hard to say. His highest grossing movies of all time were The Croods and Into the Spider-Verse, which was a voice acting role.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned that you didn't think The Croods was a good decision.
No, it made buttloads of money.
Yeah, it was highly popular. I remember people loving it.
It made an absolute fortune. I think a lot of times when he talks about the movies that he doesn't like artistically that he's made, he has a very low opinion of the movie The Croods.
I don't think he's in a lot of children's movies.
Yeah. He doesn't seem like he's necessarily suited to children's movies.
Yeah.
His highest rated movie of all time is Into the Spider-Verse, which was, again, a voice acting role. And in the period of time between 2009 and 2022, he made 51 movies.
Jesus.
So about half of the movies that he's made were in this, like, quote-unquote flop period where he's, making as many movies as he can. This is also the 51 movies I have the posters for that he's made between 2009 and 2022.
Nice.
Do you have a favorite?
Let me see these. Let me go ahead and... Not gonna lie, I don't go out looking for Nicolas Cage movies.
Mine might be Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Never seen it.
It's pretty good. Renfield was good.
Renfield was fantastic. I think he did a fantastic job. Also, everybody go watch the Community episode where Abed tackles Nicolas Cage movies.
I might have to watch that.
Yeah.
Now that I am qualified.
I'm not a huge Nicolas Cage. Can you tell?
Yeah.
My favorite movies that Nicolas Cage has ever done are Con Air and Face Off, and those are the movies that I watch back to back. I never have taken a day in between them.
Yeah. Kick-Ass is good too.
Yeah.
I like Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
And of course,
Ghost Rider and
Ghost Rider 2.
I also recently rewatched National Treasure.
We watched it for 4th of July, right?
Yeah, fucking hated him. What a fucking narcissist. What an unlikable character. Whew.
Yup. So that is just some stats about his movies. And that's the end of the presentation.
Jump scare Nicolas Cage's face.
Thank you very much for listening.
Max, fantastic.
I never want to hear about Nicolas Cage ever again. I'm so tired of him now. But I'm glad that I know all of these things about him.
I am too. It really solidified how I feel about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Badly.
I don't know. It kind of feels like it's like a big situation where it's like a little kid in the body of an adult who is like a multimillionaire doing whatever they want. Like the house with the trains in it and the dinosaur skull and the Superman comic and everything. I'm like, all the car collection. I'm like, that's, on the one hand, I'm like, that's not I mean, obviously there are morally better ways to spend your money. Like you could have donated any and all of that money. But also, I kind of appreciate that it's things that he does genuinely care about, besides the properties, which he doesn't seem to give a shit about.
And
but
the cars.
He loves the cars, though. He's very specific about which cars that he likes and why. I just don't understand the reasoning because I don't understand cars. But I like that. I think that at the very least, it's cool that his interests are clear from the things that he spends his money on. He just happens to have all of the interests of a 7-year-old boy.
That's true. It's pretty juvenile. Yeah, I think this is a look into the mind of an addict. I mean, I think that is what it is. I think that the thing that makes this egregious is that I also think that he is a tone deaf and ultimately possibly unintentional racist. I think he's a culture miner. I think that he, doesn't seem to have a lot to offer beyond his stuff that he is accumulating. I can't imagine he's a reliable father. I would be interested to hear from his children. Does he have more than one?
He has 3 children from 5 marriages.
Yeah. So that also makes me think that maybe it kind of makes sense that he would have multiple marriages, not trying to shout out people who have been married multiple times. But yeah, with Nicolas Cage in particular, I can't imagine that he's a supportive or particularly empathetic partner to have. Yeah.
There are a bunch of anecdotes about Nicolas Cage that I chose not to include in this presentation, not because they're not interesting, but just because if I included every anecdote about Nicolas Cage, this presentation would be 6 hours long. He and Charlie Sheen hijacked a plane together.
Yeah, no, if you are the company that you keep, again, if he's not on the Epstein list, then I'll put a fucking 9x12 rug in the blender and then slurp it up on the beach. I'll drink a 9x12 rug. If he's not on the goddamn Epstein list.
He's also the reason why Johnny Depp has an acting career. He was the person who convinced him to go out for an audition.
Well, he's correct at the very beginning of Johnny Depp's career because we got to see Johnny Depp in that crop top in
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, and that is transcendent.
Yes, of
and
course.
Pirates of the Caribbean is one of the greatest movies ever made. It's a actually statistically perfect movie.
Yes. And
Johnny
also,
Depp's evil.
Yeah, he proposed to his at the time girlfriend, Patricia Arquette, in the 90s in a way that was so crazy that she thought it was a joke until he started planning their wedding. And then she broke up with him. Yeah. So as always, like I mentioned, these sources are not always 100% reliable. I've done my absolute best to research all of them, and I have included all of the sources in the presentation, so you can review those. But I think for me, the thesis of this presentation is that, first of all, nobody should have this much fucking money.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should be taxing billionaires and millionaires.
Also,
more.
it's not like it's doing him much good.
No.
Genuinely, it's not.
It's not. We need to be taxing people harder. It should be harder for people to own
so many
properties that they can kind of forget about some of them.
Nobody should be able to forget about property. Also,
nobody should be able to write off a private plane.
That's
or
it.
a private
It shouldn't
island.
be that easy to be able to just write shit off. And also, though, again, I am not letting his fucking money people off the hook because there's no way that he's sitting down at his computer and writing things off himself.
Yeah.
He pays people to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to hear more about the investigations into his financial managers.
Yes.
Because he can buy all the shit that he wants, but the tax thing I don't think is on him because there's no way he knows even what a tax document looks like.
Yeah. So that's thesis 1, we should be taxing millionaires more. Thesis 2, we should not be giving Nicolas Cage a break for the movies that he makes. His choices have always been questionable, and this is not a result of his financial downturn.
Okay.
He's just like that.
Yeah. Sure. Guys, okay, so we want to know, what do you think about Nicolas Cage? What do you think about this after hearing this? Do you think I'm being too harsh on him, genuinely? Because I might be being too harsh on him.
I think it is worth saying, I love watching Nicolas Cage's acting. I think that his movies are truly, his acting style is truly and genuinely unique. Mm-hmm. And I say that as a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance is one of my favorite bad movies that I've ever seen. He has made significant contributions to the overall culture of film in a way that I think is really interesting and cool.
Did you ever watch The Wicker Man?
No.
That's the one where he is murdered by bees at the end, and we get that iconic scene of him going, "The bees, not the bees, the bees, and you just
Yeah.
have that over and over again. I
Mhm.
will say that significantly changed me when I
Sure.
saw it. Yeah, no, he's not unenjoyable. I like his movies, except National Treasure. I rewatched it, guys, and I just wanted to fucking punch through the screen. But there's lots of good actors. There's lots of good movies made by terrible people. Do I think he's the worst? No, I don't think he's the worst. Do I think he's harmless? Probably, ultimately harmless in the grand scheme of things, and especially comparing him to other people. Do I think he went to the Epstein Island? I would fucking snort that potted plant.
You're snorting a lot of things.
Yeah,
in this
I'm
scenario.
ingesting a lot of things. I'm gonna laugh so hard if he's not on the Epstein list, but
through your mouthful of carpet.
as I die.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of this stuff, though, that is egregious. So again, reach out to us. You can text us at the link. You can comment on our Discord by joining our Patreon at the $3, $4, or $7 level. You can reach out through social media. I will be putting, Max is the one, she's going to be figuring out ways to put this online for you to see. It's a fantastic presentation, but I will be possibly putting this in our stories in its own little folder so that as you listen to this, you can just go to that and then just flip through all of them. You can also email us at sortofthestory@gmail.com. See a list of all of our sources and stuff in the show notes or on our website, sortofthestory.com. And yeah, we just like to hear from you.
Yeah. Tell us what you think. What's
Tell
your
us
favorite?
what you think.
What's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Yeah, that's what we want to know. And I want to know, am I being too harsh? Because I've been known to have strong opinions and maybe I need to be checked a little bit. Who knows? I won't check myself, but you know what? You could try.
Yeah. What's your favorite batshit crazy thing that you learned about Nicolas Cage today?
Yeah. And also, do you have 40 million properties? Let us know. Yeah. If you had this amount of money, would you be like this? Max, what do you think?
Would I be like this?
Yeah.
I would be a little bit like this.
Yeah.
I would donate a lot of money, but I definitely would be the kind of person who would like buy weird miscellanea that is relevant to my specific interests.
I also don't believe that he's not donating anything. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that he's gone to like celebrity auctions and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
but I don't know how I would be. I don't really spend money now that much. I mean, I don't not spend money, but like,
Yeah.
I never have it. Where's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be, to be honest. I think that I would not have any, though, because I would probably constantly be giving it away. I'd be bad with money.
Yeah.
So let us know all of these things or anything you want to tell us and leave us a 5-star review. Let us have a 6.9 review as well.
Nice. Just like the movie Con Air.
Just like the movie Con Air. And Max, this is the very last off topic.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let us know in general, how'd you like the off topic season this year? Was it kind of weird? I feel like the vibes were weird.
But in a fun way, I think.
In a batshit crazy way.
Yeah, we went off the rails a little bit, and it's good for me.
I'm going to laugh if we talked about this last time.
Mhm.
I pissed off Scientology and North Korea.
Mhm.
And you pissed off Nicolas Cage. And I'm looking at this picture of him, and I can't figure out which one is worse. We just have this insane picture of him. He's got this giant grin on his face, like he's coming to get me.
Yeah, and he is.
Yeah, and
So.
he might be. So I don't know which one's going to kill me first, but we'll see.
Which one do you think is going to kill us first?
And do you think Marie Laveau will protect me
No.
from beyond the grave?
I don't think so.
If she's got to protect Nicolas Cage, then why not Janey? She's like, who? All right. Guys, we love you. And we will see you next time with a regular episode of Sort of the Story. Goodbye.
Bye.
So I was very brave
Yeah.
last time we recorded, which was 162, and I admitted that I have not always taken all of my antibiotics.
Mhm.
And I made a vow that from now on, now that I know the importance and why you have to take them all, that I'm going to start taking them all.
Mhm.
And if you're somebody who doesn't have a vagina, go ahead and skip forward real quick, or just, I don't know, this is the test. Why are you still listening to this? If you don't have a vagina, you don't need to listen to the rest of this. That being said, I found the downside to taking all your antibiotics, Max. I have my first yeast infection of my fucking life. 34, never having a UTI, never having any issues down there, clean as a whistle.
Clean as a whistle.
Beautiful, they say. Transcendent.
When she pees, it sounds like...
Woo! Achimama! That's what you hear from my vagina every time. And I'm like, thanks, lady. And she's like, no problem. It tastes like cherry cola, just like Lana Del Rey's. Anyway, that's what it says every time. And I'm like, I don't drink cherry cola. And she's like, it's weird. Okay, but now I took this stupid antibiotics, and apparently amoxicillin can make it so that you have a yeast infection.
Yeah.
That's like apparently a common side effect. And I've never had one before, and I've been on antibiotics a bunch. So just so you know, I fucking destroyed my lady to keep everyone safe from my fucking super virus.
Janey has been thoroughly leavened.
I'm livid. I also had the thought that maybe, this is my hope, because I keep going back to I don't think it should be up to the everyday person to take all their pills if the consequence to not doing that can be as dire as the internet says. That being said, can you tell I'm a little skeptical? That being said, part of me wonders if they give you extra antibiotics at the end to be like, you're only going to make it to day 6. So I'm going to say you need 10 days. Anyway, if you're a doctor,
so.
Is that what they do? Let me know.
I don't think so.
Now you
Sorry,
say
buddy.
something so I can tell if we're the same. We're not the same energy because I'm coming in pissed
Angry.
and burning
Ugh.
as I'm pissed.
That sucks, and I'm really sorry.
That's all you got for me?
I've never had a yeast infection.
Oh, well, maybe next time you're sick, you'll get one.
Don't wish a yeast infection on me.
Not gonna lie, I kind of wish one on everyone. That's where I'm at. Let me have this.
I have had UTIs before from sex.
I've never had a UTI from sex. I don't want to brag because I've had some pretty crazy sex. But I thought I was immune to UTIs.
Because of the lemon juice.
I don't know if that's relevant. But I just think maybe I'm immune.
Well,
But, what's the difference? They're both yeast.
I don't think they are.
I think urinary tract infection is like an excess of yeast in the urinary tract, right?
It's an excess of protein.
Oh, healthy gains, strong vagina. Does yours sound like does yours sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Lady.
Yep.
Wow. Your Kegels are strong. Give me a dumbbell.
I hate this. I hate this bit.
Let's really impress him by benching 200. What vagina? Why do you sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I really don't like this bit.
I'll be vag. That's your vagina.
That's not my vagina.
That's your vagina!
That's the former governor of California.
In your pants.
Is that tested enough? Can we be done with this?
I don't know. I need you to say I'm so sorry.
Janey's so sorry.
No! Okay, let's see if that tested.